shoes, it was something that you just learned by rote. There are some people that learn like where the rabbit goes, you do the rabbit around the hole, and then around it's like I don't even know the mnemonic, but there's some little story about how to tie your shoe. I learned it very just manually, visually, like this is what you do to tie your shoe. Well, I'm 31, and only this year, actually about a month ago, I learned on my own, I figured out there's a correct way and a wrong way to tie your shoes. And I've been doing it wrong this whole time. And it's all based on the way the knots, there's 2 knots in your shoelaces, the way you do one knot affects how the other one turns out. And I learned this also because of Boy Scouts, because when you do a square knot, there is a way to do it that makes it tight, and there's a, oh I forgot, I should have looked this up, there's another name like a sailor's knot or something, but there's 2 different knots, and one is not as tight as the other one based on how you do the knots. So I'm actually going to show you the 2 different ways and the results of each. Meet you downstairs. So here is how people typically tie their shoes, which is how I learned. And you're just crossing it over and then making your bow. However you do it. There's a lot of people that do different ways. So there's that. And then let me show you the same thing. I'm making the first knot, whatever you call it, and then tying the shoe. Now, I haven't taught you, I did something different with each one. Do you see how this one goes vertically, naturally, and this one goes side to side? And there's actually a reason behind this that I never knew until this week. I started playing around and I was like, wait a minute. And the only difference is, the way I was taught growing up, just because no one cared, was just to cross these 2 and make that squiggly area. I don't even know what to call this. There's probably a name for this. But the point is, I always learned right over left. And then when I'm making my bow, I always learn to go around the left bow because I'm a right-handed person, and go around. And because of that, the bow naturally goes up and down. The only difference is, instead of doing right over left, I do left over right. Left over right, plus the bow that I learned, making the bow with your left hand and wrapping it around with the right, means that it goes side to side. And so for you, all you have to do is experiment. If you do the first one right over left, and then do the same thing you've always done, try switching it, left over right. One of the bows will be the natural bow that you probably have been wanting your whole life, while the other one is up and down. So there you go.